Today's video, I am talking all about insurance. It's the question that I get asked the most. People want to know how I got my insurance to approve my surgery, or if I got my insurance to approve my surgery, what the process was like, what the requirements were. So I'm gonna cover all of those things today. First, let me start by saying that just because I got my insurance to approve my surgery does not necessarily mean that you will too. There are so many factors that go into getting the approval based on your plan, what kind of insurance you have, just so many things. So I don't want to get any of your guys' hopes up, but I will share my experience with you so you kind of know the road and the process that I took. So first, I called the number on the back of my card. I was pretty clueless as to like what was required of me, what the process was going to be like, but I just started with calling the number on the back of the card. From there, the guy answered and I said, hey, I want to get bariatric surgery. I want to see if my insurance covers it. Can you put me in contact with the person that I need to be speaking with? And so he would give me the number on the back of the card again. He would say, hey, call this number. This will transfer you to who you need to speak to. This happened over and over for about 4 to 5 weeks, you guys. I was put through circles. I called every single day. I said the same thing every single day, and each person would give me that same number that was on the back of the card. It was very, very frustrating. And then finally one day I got really upset and I was like, no, like, do not give me that number. This is the same exact number that I just called. This is the same number that everybody keeps giving me, and I'm getting put through circles. Like, can you please transfer me to who I need to speak to check my benefits for bariatric surgery? And then one day it was just like this really nice lady, and she was like, oh, honey, you need to be speaking with the Bariatric Resource Center. And I was like, why hasn't anybody told me that? So she then transferred me directly to the Bariatric Resource Center. I then spoke to a really nice lady who assigned me a case nurse. That was a really important step in my approval. So I had to schedule an appointment with my case nurse to speak to her over the phone. That took about a week to get that scheduled. And then from there, me and my case nurse spoke, and she got to know all about me, got my stats, and then she proceeded to tell me that I would be approved for the insurance. It wasn't like a definite guarantee, but she said from what she sees through my plan and my benefits, it looked like my insurance would cover it. So she then emailed me a list of doctors who were covered by the insurance, and that is how I chose my doctor. So a lot of you have asked that question too, like, how did you choose your doctor? Well, I recognized a name from the list of a friend. My friend's husband had the surgery done, and I remember him telling me the name of his surgeon. So when I saw that name, I was like, oh, that name looks familiar. I think that's who my friend used. And sure enough, it was him. So I knew instantly that was the doctor that I was gonna go see. If I wouldn't have recognized any of the names, then I probably would have made a few appointments, a few consultations just to meet the different doctors until I found one that I felt comfortable with. But with my doctor, like my first appointment, I was excited about him. I trusted him. I was super impressed. He had great bedside manner. So I knew for a fact that that was the doctor that I was going to go see. So after my consultation, the lady who covers the insurance company through my with my doctor's office, she then had to submit all my paperwork and get the final approval for my insurance. So that took another like 2 months. I think it took about 8 weeks to get that approval back. So there was a bunch of different steps and that was needed and necessary. But just remember, like, to be patient, because I was super frustrated. I cried many times because I was just like, I couldn't understand why I was just getting put through circles. Like, insurance is really, really hard to deal with, to talk to. Like, they don't make it easy, and they do that on purpose. It's really dumb. Let me also tell you that before I knew that my insurance was going to cover the surgery, I had originally planned to go to Mexico. It's very expensive to do it here in the States without insurance. I think it's about $20,000 to $25,000. In Mexico, it's about $3,500-ish. You can usually find deals or specials. And all the people that I knew that got the surgery done before me had all gone to Mexico, and they had great, successful, happy surgeries. So I was a little fearful going to Mexico, but I decided it was financially smarter to do that. But before I had scheduled the appointment, before I had scheduled the surgery day in Mexico, I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna see if our insurance covers it. We have great insurance, so I was just patient. But through the whole process of getting approved, I told my husband so many times, like, I'm over this, let's just schedule the appointment in Mexico. And I kept telling him, insurance isn't gonna cover it, like, I'm getting my hopes up. And we just both decided that I was gonna be patient and wait until I got the final answer whether it was going to be approved or not. And I'm so glad I was patient. It was so worth it. But I just want to tell you all that if your insurance does not cover it, there is the option to go to Mexico. It sounds scary, but there's amazing surgeons there. And I will link a couple of them in the caption below my video of some of the surgeons in Mexico. I'm trying to think of other questions that I maybe missed. To kind of go off of the insurance thing, I got the question on how long I had to wait to have the surgery from having my baby. So I started the whole process of getting approved when my baby was only 3 weeks old. I know it sounds crazy, but I knew the entire pregnancy that I was gonna have the surgery done. And I actually wanted the surgery done before I got pregnant with her, but I just decided, you know what, we want to have one more baby, so and the timing was right to have another baby, so we decided let's get pregnant, and then after we delivered, then I would get the surgery done. So after I had her, I was ready to get the process started. So she was about 3 weeks old when I started calling the insurance. She was so it took about 4 weeks to get approved. So she was about 3 months old when I had my first consultation with my doctor, my first appointment. And I asked him, I told him, I just had a baby 3 months ago. Is that going to be an issue? And he said it wasn't an issue, which I was really surprised about. I thought, maybe they would make me wait a year or whatever. And he said it wasn't an issue. So when I had this surgery done, I had it done in November. She was only 5 months old. So there wasn't any waiting period that I had to take. Also, I know a lot of insurance plans require you to be on a 6-month monitored diet before you can actually have the surgery. I did not need to, I wasn't required to be on that 6-month diet. I don't know why. I don't know why my plan was different. Because I guess that's very uncommon. Most plans do require you to be on a 6-month monitored diet. So keep that in mind too. It's about a year process from when you start calling to when you can actually get the surgery done. I hope I answered all of your questions. If I missed anything, then I will do another Q&A post where you guys can list more questions that you have. But I hope this helps, and I hope this answers a lot of the questions that you have.